So you may be wondering that why is this whole series in a same apartment? It's because in order to avoid stingray and Wi-Fi hacking, you won't know whether you are posting your videos at the real YouTube or a fake YouTube. And in order to avoid that, during my travels, I took a stop. And I was not going to do it, but then after seeing Chichur's Balaji's case, I wanted to at least let people know, whosoever is going to be the potential whistleblower from India, because Indian people don't know what to expect when they come to United States, how criminals operate, how deep the criminal corporation collaboration is. And a lot of times, since Israeli operate in shadows, like uh, they're not gonna talk to you in front. They would not be around. They would be sending poison, trying to stage suicide, things like this. So you just have to kind of treat them as if these are just the lowest level criminals. And in order to defend against these criminals, you have to have deadbolt, you have to have a dog, have a gun, and only person responsible for your security is you. Police participates in, as you have heard. And do not rely on internet outside communication. As you do, you have to kind of change your location often. Go to places like airport to access your Facebook or YouTube, because they cannot come in with a stingray. Except in Singapore. Singapore is totally corrupt airport. There they can go all the way up to your flight even, it seemed like, because they have shops. And there I saw criminals were instructed to say my debit card doesn't work, so I make a call. So they wanted to find out my debit card pin so that they can disable it, so that I cannot fly anymore, because they couldn't keep up. I will just get down at a place. As soon as I see them operating, I'll leave. So this is why I've chosen this place in Canada to shoot this all. So you have to kind of have a phone that you do not turn on next to your apartment within 300 feet, because it will pop up in there a stingray, and and all they have to do is confirm that it is your phone. So just don't turn it on. Drive away. Don't rely on don't look for directions on your phone as soon as you leave house. Go 300 feet away and then look for directions. So if you're going to police station, don't search it at home. Leave 300 feet and then look for it. Otherwise, they would know. So all these tricks and methods you will find out once you have experienced it. And a lot of times you may not get second chance, because let's say if I had taken that poison, nerve agents cause irreversible damage within 30 days. After a week, kind of damage, there will be some damage going up to the second week, second to third week. There will be significant damage, and after fourth week, I mean, you can see cases wherein people have forgotten everything. They couldn't even recall. There was a doctor's case. He couldn't recall what medication he was prescribing, how he was supposed to do surgery, and all these things. I mean, I don't know for sure, but based on my experience, when these nerve agents get in, which are essentially insecticide, pesticide, these are the kinds of things they do. They impact your longest nerves first. And you won't find any studies wherein you see effect on human of these dosages, which are given in a short form regularly over a period of a month. All they need is 1 month. And or they will try to stage suicide. And this is something that corporations are paying them for. So I spoke to a firm in Virginia that does counter surveillance. So they said there are at least two teams involved. That's why they kind of were there in at least 2 units, and they all work in like a couples. So you cannot really have any kind of suspicion, and they will operate 10-hour shift. And they get paid $70 per hour per person, amounting to about $40,000 per month. So this is the stage of this action. So you have to kind of travel around, travel often, and the safest place for you is to inject all your documents straight into the court system, and because that way you are bringing them to a place where they don't want to go. So their Israeli operatives have nothing they can do, and they have two interfaces: journalist, they meaning corporations, interact with these firms through journalist or through law firms. So this brings me to a topic of Julian Saman of Shigerian. So after I kind of did nothing, I received a call from Christina Late saying, essentially she was telling me that my torment is over. I can go about my way, and she kind of confirmed that I was being stupid to call out fraud, and I should have just not done it, so on and so forth. So then I contacted, so during this time, all my previous emails related to legal conversations that I was having with lawyers were deleted. And only one email was left, which was of Shigerian. So I knew this is the way Israeli thinks. So they were kind of like asking me to make this journey. So I said, okay, let me see what happens. So I gave them some information, didn't give them much, and kind of not pay any attention. So after 4 months, I received a call from Julian Saman saying my file has landed up on his desk. Essentially a dialogue from movies. Nowadays we use computers. There is no file. Anyway, so he was trying to find out, what do I have? What documents I have, what proof I have, what proof do I have? And as soon as I told him that I'm going to pursue internet wire fraud, 20-year prison, $250,000 fine for each email access, then these criminals who were hired by Intel, they started to put in some of the emails back. And I said, this is just so ridiculous. So he was kind of making up his own laws. He was saying that harassment and fraud at work, for which the retaliation was about, were the same thing. So I spoke to another lawyer, Pam Tarrant. Always speak with two lawyers. And I asked Julian Saman to come to a meeting with this other lawyer to explain his reasoning. That why does he think it's same law? He said he won't do it, and he will drop my case. I said, okay, drop it. So I terminated the contract. And then I will talk to lawyers, and they say, oh, they know Shigerian. I should go back to him. So this is how they try to influence you through Stingray. I wasn't talking to any lawyer, it seemed like, because they all started screaming. Same thing you will see when you're talking to these bank employees. I mean, they're trained not to be impolite, but these guys will just start screaming, oh, we know you have 6 accounts, and we know this. Why don't you tell us your PIN? So on and so forth. So this is how you know the behavioral aspect is something they haven't mastered. And Christina Lates was asking that how did I find out that I was being poisoned? Kind of like doing QA for these teams. So it is kind of interesting. So anyway, safest place is going to courts, submit everything as soon as you can, because all these actions kind of stopped as soon as I filed my case at the federal court. So you have to do the same thing. And be ready, because they will try to, they are not brave, so they're gonna try to sneak up on you. And a lot of these people are essentially just kind of, they know law. So when I went to policemen asked that, did anybody grab you? So when they are following you, they're kind of around you, there is no crime being committed. So, and they know it. So they'll be all kind of hovering around like flies, but they won't grab you. But then when I was being taken in green checkered cab from Omni Plaza Hotel, and I was already poisoned, so you have to wait for 2 to 3 days for that poison to subside, because it will cause hypervigilance. So if you contact police officer, they may not be as amenable to your reasoning. And in at least Bay Area, I noticed, all the way to Death Valley, that police officers were trying to cover up for what was taking place. So I will ask a police officer to file, I will, on 911 call, you can give as much detail as you like, But then when he came, he said, "Oh, nobody's following you because they are all going to San Francisco." And I said, "How come I take 40-minute break and they're still there? We won't say anything." So there was a guy in a white GMC truck, red Mustang, blue Honda, and I gave their number, at least one number, so on and so forth. So don't expect much help. But at the same time, they're not going to be able to do anything because the end game is to make it look like suicide, for example, so that no further investigation takes place. You are kind of silenced, either mentally or physically. And to mentally silence you, they're going to give you nerve agents. To physically silence you, they're going to they're going to stage suicide. But they are not brave, intelligent people, so you can easily take them on. And just be patient. And the next of the series, I will cover signal intelligence part of it, so that you can design your own stingray catcher. There's a C-class project in University of Washington. There is also a crocodile hunter. If you search, you can build all this using hardware from China. There's a Blade USRP board, and you can just download and start doing the same thing they're doing. And that's what actually a police officer told me. He said, whatever is being done, you're an intelligent person, you should do it to them. And at the same time, these criminals only have limited set of tools. And you can learn and read a lot more. I mean, if you can do AI or you can do software at firms like OpenAI, for example, or you can easily do all these things, create these tools. They are not this is not rocket science. And the poison is something you have to kind of guard your kitchen. Don't allow anybody access to your home willy-nilly. And have cameras installed inside your house. And don't have them connected through Wi-Fi. Have wired access, because if you generate a white noise, Wi-Fi signal could be knocked off, so you won't have much of a recording. Or your cameras won't be working. Have a dog, because you cannot hack dog. They will be ready to take down whosoever comes. So that's it for now. Next set of series will be about signal intelligence and how to kind of pinpoint where the stingray is located. Thank you.